again, viewers. I'm Anastasia, teaming up with Irene for day 8 of our engaging 50-day software architecture class. Looking back at day 7, we introduced microservices architecture, highlighting its advantages in scalability, agility, and resilience compared to traditional monoliths, setting the stage for distributed systems. Today, we're honing in on designing APIs within microservices environments, exploring RESTful principles in detail, and sharing best practices for crafting endpoints that are efficient, secure, and maintainable, ensuring your services communicate effectively without introducing bottlenecks or vulnerabilities.
Well put, Anastasia. These APIs are the glue holding microservices together, and mastering their design is key to unlocking the full potential of distributed architectures.
Providing a detailed overview for day 8. In microservices, APIs serve as the critical communication backbone, enabling services to interact reliably across boundaries. We'll cover the fundamentals of RESTful design, including how to model resources, utilize HTTP methods appropriately, and leverage status codes for clear responses. Then we'll dive into best practices such as versioning strategies, robust security measures, and effective error handling to make your APIs resilient. This directly ties to Day 7's emphasis on independent services, where well designed APIs facilitate loose coupling and seamless integration.
A practical roadmap. These elements ensure your microservices ecosystem thrives in production environments.
Why does API design hold such importance in microservices? It fundamentally enables loose coupling, allowing services to evolve independently without breaking dependencies, which is essential for the agility we discussed in Day 7. Well-crafted APIs directly influence system performance by optimizing data transfer, enhance security through proper authentication, and improve usability for both internal teams and external consumers. Conversely, poor design can result in tight coupling, cascading failures, or scalability issues. This aligns with Day 2's solid principles, particularly open-closed, by making APIs extensible without requiring modifications to existing clients.
Critical foundation gets it right, and your system becomes future-proof.
Starting with the basics of RESTful APIs, REST, or representational state transfer, is an architectural style that leverages HTTP protocols to create scalable web services, treating data as resources that can be created, read, updated, or deleted. A core tenet is statelessness, meaning each request from a client contains all the information needed to process it, without relying on server-stored session data. Resources are represented as nouns in URIs, like users for user management or orders for order processing. Standard HTTP methods, get for retrieval, post for creation, put for updates, and delete for removal, provide a uniform interface for operations.
Standardized and intuitive makes APIs predictable across services.
Delving deeper into REST principles, particularly resources and URIs, begin by identifying core resources as the key business entities in your domain, such as users, products, or transactions, ensuring they map to nouns for clarity. Construct hierarchical URIs to reflect relationships like jot users, ID, orders to fetch a specific user's orders, promoting intuitive navigation. Steer clear of verbs in URIs. Reserve actions for HTTP methods to maintain separation of concerns. Emphasize idempotency, where methods like get or put can be called multiple times without changing the result beyond the initial call, enhancing reliability in distributed systems.
Resource-centric keeps designs clean and discoverable, continuing with REST principles, focusing on HTTP methods and status codes. Get is for safely retrieving resources without side effects, ideal for queries. Post handles creation of new resources, often returning 201 created with the new entity's location. For updates, use put for full replacements or patch for partial modifications to minimize data transfer. Status codes provide semantic feedback: 200 for success, 404 for not found, 401 for unauthorized, or 500 for server errors, helping clients handle responses intelligently and debug issues efficiently.
Methodical and meaningful, standardizes interactions.
On representations and HATEOAS in REST. Resources can be represented in various formats like JSON for lightweight data or XML for structured documents, chosen based on client needs. HATEOAS, hypermedia as the engine of application state, embeds hyperlinks in responses, allowing clients to discover actions dynamically, like a user response including links to short orders or profile. This makes APIs self-descriptive and evolvable. Use content negotiation via accept headers to let clients specify preferred formats, enhancing interoperability.
Dynamic and discoverable evolves with clients.
Common REST design patterns. Implement pagination for handling large datasets, using query parameters like page and limit to return subsets, preventing overload. Add filtering and sorting via params, such as status was active or sort name ASC, to empower clients with customized queries. For versioning, incorporate it in URIs like v1 users or via custom headers to manage breaking changes. Leverage Day 6's strategy pattern to switch between version implementations at runtime, maintaining backward compatibility.
User-friendly enhancements.
Security essentials in RESTful APIs. Use authentication mechanisms like OAuth for delegated access or JWT for stateless tokens to verify identities securely. Implement authorization with role-based controls to ensure users only access permitted resources. Mandate HTTPS to encrypt all communications, protecting against interception. Apply rate limiting to thwart denial of service attacks and abuse, using headers to inform clients of limits and remaining requests.
Fortified from threats.
Effective error handling in REST. Return consistent error responses in JSON format, including an error code, descriptive message, and optional details for developers, while using appropriate HTTP status codes to categorize issues. Avoid exposing sensitive internal details like stack traces to prevent security risks. On the server side, log errors comprehensively for debugging and monitoring, integrating with tools we'll cover in Day 18.
Informative yet secure. Best practices for endpoint design. Choose meaningful, descriptive names for URIs that follow consistent conventions across services, making them intuitive for consumers. Keep endpoints simple by avoiding excessively deep nesting, favoring flat structures where possible for better readability. Ensure operations are idempotent whenever feasible, allowing safe retries in case of network issues. Make responses cacheable using headers like e-tags or cache control to reduce load and improve performance.
User-centric and efficient.
Documentation best practices. Utilize OpenAPI to create machine-readable specifications that describe your APIs comprehensively, including endpoints, parameters, and responses. This enables auto-generation of client code in various languages, speeding up integration. Provide interactive documentation where users can test endpoints directly in the browser. Maintain separate documentation versions to match API versions, ensuring clarity for different client implementations.
Accessible and developer-friendly.
Performance optimization practices. Minimize response payloads by including only essential data, using query params for optional fields to avoid bloat. Enable compression like gzip on responses to reduce transfer sizes over the network. For long-running operations, shift to asynchronous processing with callbacks or webhooks, preventing blocking. Incorporate caching layers, such as CDNs for static assets, or in-memory caches like Redis to serve frequent requests faster.
Speedy and resource-wise.
Testing best practices for APIs. Conduct unit tests on individual endpoints to verify logic, inputs, and outputs in isolation. Perform integration tests to validate cross-service interactions, simulating real-world flows. Use contract testing to ensure API consumers and providers adhere to agreed interfaces, preventing breaks. Leverage tools like Postman for manual exploration and Jest or similar for automated suites, incorporating them into CI/CD pipelines.
Reliable through verification.
Monitoring and logging practices track key metrics such as response times, throughput, and error rates to identify performance issues early. Implement centralized logging with distributed tracing to follow requests across services, aiding in debugging complex failures. Set up alerts for anomalies like sudden spikes in errors or latency. This previews Day 18's tools like Prometheus for metrics and ELK Stack for logs, ensuring proactive management.
Observability first. Endpoint-specific practices for versioning and deprecation. Adopt semantic versioning to signal major breaking changes versus minor enhancements, helping clients plan upgrades. Deprecate endpoints gracefully by including warnings in response headers, giving users time to migrate. Support multiple versions in parallel during transitions to avoid disruptions. Decide between URI-based versioning like fee2 users or header-based for cleaner paths based on your ecosystem.
Smooth evolutions.
For pagination and filtering in endpoints, use offset limit for simple cases or cursor-based for large datasets to handle deletions gracefully. Include metadata like total count and links to next previous pages per HATEOAS. Secure filtering parameters against SQL injection or abuse by validating inputs. Set default limits on results to prevent resource exhaustion from unbounded queries.
Efficient data delivery.
Common pitfalls in API design. Inconsistent naming conventions across endpoints lead to confusion and errors for consumers. Overfetching data in responses creates unnecessarily large payloads, impacting performance. Use fields, pair them to customize. Neglecting idempotency in methods like post can cause duplicate resources on retrees. Vague error messages without details make debugging frustrating for developers.
Learn from mistakes. Recapping Day 8, we covered the core RESTful principles, from resource modeling and HTTP methods to advanced concepts like HATEOAS and representations, providing a solid framework for API creation.
And delved into best practices for endpoints, including versioning, security, performance optimization, and testing. We connected these to microservices communication needs from Day 7. The key takeaway: thoughtfully designed APIs are pivotal to the success and longevity of your microservices architecture. Welcome to Day 8 of the 50 Days Software Architecture class, where we'll explore designing APIs in microservices. Microservices, as popularized by Martin Fowler, decompose monolithic applications into small, autonomous services. These services communicate primarily via lightweight APIs, often using HTTP, REST, or gRPC, ensuring loose coupling and independent deployment. Today, we'll delve into RESTful principles and best practices for creating effective endpoints. REST, or representational state transfer, enforces 6 key constraints for robust web services. First, client-server separation ensures independent evolution, with API gateways handling routing for thousands of requests per second. Second, statelessness means each request is self-contained, allowing for massive scalability to millions of users. Third, cacheable responses, using headers like etag, significantly reduce server load by 50 to 80%. Fourth is a uniform interface, where resources are identified as nouns, like choch users, 123 and manipulated using standard HTTP verbs. Fifth, a layered system allows for proxies and load balancers, like nginx, to handle tens of thousands of connections. Finally, code on demand is an optional constraint, often seen with JavaScript payloads. Now, let's discuss best practices for designing effective API endpoints. Always use plural nouns for collections, such as orders, not order, and create hierarchical URIs like users, user ID, orders, order ID. Avoid verbs in URIs. Instead, use query parameters for actions like get users, query foo, with pagination. Support HATEOAS for discoverability, providing links within responses for related actions or resources. For API versioning, you can use URI paths, custom headers, or query parameters, dynamically routed using patterns like the strategy pattern. Aim for compact payloads, typically less than 1 megabyte, and responses under 100 kilobytes for optimal performance. Inter-service communication can be synchronous via REST or asynchronous using message queues like Kafka or RabbitMQ. Synchronous REST carries risks of cascading failures, which can be mitigated using the circuit breaker pattern. API gateways centralize critical functions like authentication, rate limiting, and logging. Security is paramount, utilizing OAuth 2.0 with JWTs for secure token-based authentication. For service-to-service communication, MTLS provides mutual authentication and encryption. Robust error handling, using problem details RFC 7807, provides standardized JSON responses for issues. Monitoring with tools like Prometheus and Jaeger tracing ensures low latency and system health. In summary, designing effective APIs in microservices is crucial for building scalable, resilient, and maintainable systems. By adhering to RESTful principles and best practices, you can ensure seamless inter-service communication and system integrity. Thank you for joining us on Day 8 of the 50 Days Software Architecture class. We look forward to seeing you next time. Tomorrow, Day 9 explores event-driven architecture basics, including pub submodels and tools like Kafka, complementing today's APIs with asynchronous patterns.
Homework: sketch a simple RESTful API for a hypothetical microservice, incorporating principles and practices we discussed. Questions? Comment below. Irene and I will reply with in-depth answers. Thanks for your dedication. Like, share, and subscribe to continue this educational journey.